Hi. For those who aren't familiar with Kids and Families Together, here's a short video to tell you a little bit about who we are.
Kids and Families Together is a nonprofit that's been in existence since the year 2000. We provide counseling, support, and education for foster, adoptive, relative caregivers, as well as birth parents. We are attachment focused and trauma informed in terms of our therapy. That means that we're educating people about attachment and what a healthy attachment is and how that works, as well as understanding the trauma that abuse and neglect, the impact of that on children.
I guess 5 years ago, I got my 2 nephews out of foster care in Kern County. I found out through Facebook that that's where they were. And I called up and I got them here. But when I got them, they were very traumatized, and I didn't know what to do or how to parent them.
Counseling we primarily offer in-home. So we actually go into people's homes and work with both the caregiver as well as the children. The way we work with our therapy is that we are working with the entire family. So as opposed to a lot of places where they're working primarily with just one person, either the child or the caregiver, we work with both. We work with the whole family, so we call it dyadically.
I got trained in attachment parenting. I got trained in trauma parenting. They brought food. They brought dressers and beds because I didn't have all those extra things when I got the boys. If they hadn't come along when they did, I just don't know that I would have made it.
This is Charles. He's a 3-year-old Bernese Mountain Dog, and he's a certified canine good citizen and therapy dog through Love on a Leash. Charles works here at our office. He greets clients, sits in on therapy sessions with me, and he also attends community events. And Charles helps us to create the safe, homey, and welcoming environment that's so important to us. He also has his own column in our quarterly newsletter called Chit Chattin' with Charles. He also has this book right here. We have this in the lobby. And in this book, we have his adoption story, which helps to normalize for kids the really big feelings associated with adoption, and also helps model for caregivers the importance of helping kids stay connected to their birth families. So Charles is still connected with his birth mom and grandma and some of his brothers. And we know from research that it's really important for kids to stay connected to their birth families so that they can learn more about themselves and where they come from, and just to stay connected. It's really important. So Charles helps model that.
Our mission is to strengthen relationships and provide safe, supportive help and education that keeps family members emotionally connected to one another.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jacki Irwin, and I am your state assembly person. I want to join the entire community in congratulating and thanking Kids and Families Together for serving Ventura County families for the last 20 years. By providing resources in a safe and supportive environment for families to grow, learn, and heal together, this organization has made an incredible difference in the lives of so many. It is especially during these times when many families have been pushed to readjust to a new normal that the services Kids and Families Together provides have been essential to strengthening and preserving family relationships throughout our community. Thank you for joining tonight's virtual gala, and thanks to all of the donors and supporters who help make sure that Kids and Families Together can continue on its important mission.
Good evening and welcome to our second annual A Home for the Holidays celebration. I'm Jill Allen.
And I'm Travis Greer.
And this is Charles, our on-site therapy dog.
Charles.
You saw him in the video that we just showed you. Isn't he great? I'm vice chair of the board of Kids and Families Together. And I've asked Travis, who's a great friend of the organization, to join me in hosting this virtual event. This was supposed to be a large party. I don't know if you guys remember the one we had last year at the Crown Plaza, but COVID. The pandemic has been a challenge for all businesses and especially for nonprofits. Well, how do we continue to provide for our adoptive and foster families? We've always said it takes a caring village, and nothing could be truer. We partnered with two other amazing organizations, Rincon Brewery and the World Central Kitchen, to provide our Ventura County families with tens of thousands of meals during the start of the lockdown from April through June. But there's still more for our adoptive and foster families to do, and that's why we're trying a little something new. This virtual fundraiser, and we are asking for your help.
And just to give you a quick overview of our time together this evening, we will introduce you to our founders, David and Faith Friedlander, as well as hear from a couple of our families that were able to take part in our meal program. And then we will honor our partners in this amazing effort with the second annual Founders Award. Representatives from Rincon Brewery and World Central Kitchen will be on hand to accept the awards and tell us a bit about their challenges and their successes. We'd also like to remind everyone that this is a fundraiser, and information about donating is scrolling across the screen, and you can donate, text your donations to KID at 41444. And none of this would be possible without the caring dedication of these two people, David and Faith Friedlander. That's right, Charles. That's right. This is the 20th anniversary of the founding of Kids and Families Together, and that in itself is a worth of major celebration. Here are David and Faith to speak with you a little bit about their journey and how they have grown the organization over the years.
Hello, I'm David.
And I'm Faith.
And this wasn't exactly what we planned for our 20th anniversary, but we're so fortunate to have so many people that support us that we can do it this way. So thank you to everybody who is here with us. Organization is only good as the people that work in it. And we are really blessed to have, we've grown to a staff of 60 people, over 60 people now. And then we have a very dedicated board of directors chaired by Sharon Wooley. So we're extremely lucky in that way. And Jill and Travis, thank you. And Caitlin and Amy, who did such a good job putting this together. Thank you. Now I want to tell you there's a little payback because you've put a few surprises in here, and I'm going to get you for that. Wonderful surprises. Okay, and this is my darling wife, who 45-year each, and I believe she's the heart of the organization, and she's going to tell you a little bit about our early days.
Thank you. I want to start by saying how appreciative I am that everybody that works so hard to bring this event together. And I also want to thank all those who are virtually supporting Kids and Families Together tonight. I'm just appreciative from the bottom of my heart. What I'm going to share, I will admit up front that I'm going to read. And the reason why is because I'm going to be telling the story of Kids and Families Together, and it's important to me that I don't miss anything. But it was written from my heart. So Kids and Families Together began with a dream more than any kind of genuine expertise. It was 1998, and David and I had recently moved to Ventura from Ojai. Our kids were launched. I had turned 50, and I was beginning a new chapter in my life. In Ojai, I had my marriage and family therapist license and was doing a small private practice while our kids were growing up. But now, with our kids launched, David suggested that I focus on a specialty like adoption. He suggested this as adoption has always touched my life personally. I am an adoptee who grew up in a very loving adoptive home, and yet I still had issues that were connected to gaps within my life from not knowing my birth family. Years later, my sister adopted a sibling set of 3 out of foster care in the 1970s. And then David and I also have a niece that was adopted from Vietnam. I started taking a 9-month training having everything to do with adoption in 1998 that opened my eyes to the need for change and support in the child welfare system. I managed to talk with the right person that I am forever indebted to that said if we could get our 501c3, he would get us the startup money for a nonprofit. All of this happened quickly, and on January 1st, 2000, along with a couple of friends, we opened our doors to KNFT in the historical block of Ventura. In the beginning, no one knew us, and we had zero credibility, but lots of passion. We would invite social workers over for lunch at our site and have discussions about how we could best support them. At the time, they would talk about placing kids in foster homes and not having any services within our county to support these families after placement. Many of the children were going from foster home to foster home, which was increasing their trauma. The social workers didn't have the time or expertise to provide these services. I listened to their needs, and I went to every training I could to better understand trauma and how to support the families that we eventually ended up serving. At the core of every training was the importance of loving, emotionally connected, authentic relationships where a primary caregiver learned to share joy with the child in their care, as well as to help their child make sense of the trauma in their life in a way that was ultimately healing. The caregivers needed lots of support too, as they learned to be a therapeutic parent to a child. All of our programs since those earliest beginnings have grown organically over the last 20 years. Now we have over 60 committed individuals that work at Kids and Families Together. I am in awe of the staff that have found their way to KNFT and the many programs that have been developed throughout the years by a truly dedicated and innovative staff. Everyone at Kids and Families works together with the intention of creating a loving village within our work family, within the families that we serve, and with all of our community partners. This is the foundation for all of our programs. If anyone had told me 20 years ago,
20 long years.
20 some days it does feel like long years, when I was having lunch with various social workers that we would be where we are today, I never could have imagined it.
I thought I wrote it big enough so I wouldn't need my glasses. But I want to tell people we're going to present our Founders Award in just a little bit. I just wanted to tell people where this came from. We're the only nonprofit that deals strictly in the child welfare system and adoption. So last year it occurred to us when we were having our bigger event, it would be great to have some kind of award for people that support those efforts. So this year, World Central Kitchen and Rincon Brewery, and you'll hear a little bit more about them shortly. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Levey, and I have the privilege of serving as the mayor here in the city of Ventura. I want to add my voice as we congratulate Kids and Families Together on 20 years serving Ventura County families. Thank you for being here with us tonight, and thank you to all of the donors and supporters who make Kids and Families Together and their important mission possible. The work they do, strengthening relationships, advocating for children, and building stronger families is so important, and it wouldn't be possible without the generosity of so many of you. So again, thank you for your support, and congratulations, Kids and Families Together, for 20 years being incredible advocates here in Ventura County.
All right. Thank you so much, David and Faith. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, as well. We'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors. Our gold sponsor is Montecito Bank and Trust and Janet Beaton. Silver sponsors are Sharon and John Wooley, Charles Hendricks, Ruth Emming, Kearney Family Fund, Gold Coast Health Plan, and Limonera. Bronze sponsors, the Mullet Family, P. Mark Kerwin Law Offices, and Kerwin and Francis, Ralph James, and Pacific Western Bank. And we'll be hearing a little bit about them later in the program. And don't forget to donate to KID. Text KID at 41444. Text KID at 41444, or click on the donate button on your screen to help us service our families. And now we'd like to introduce you to Crystal and Eric.
My name is Eric.
My name is Crystal Edifying.
So we're a family that lives in California. We have four kids, two biological kids, and two foster kids.
Actually, COVID-19 for me was kind of a blessing in disguise because it made me spend more time versus driving time. I actually had more time to get to know them, to get to know their behaviors, to get to know the patterns, to get to know their likes and dislikes, because I was their number one care day and night. There was no schooling, was at home, everything was at home, so they couldn't run away from their fears and I couldn't run away and hide from them. So everything that was hitting came to life.
I think it actually helped. At the end, it actually helped us out because I believe that we grew more than we would have grown if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
As a family.
So the program through the Delivering the Meals, the World Central Kitchen, was very helpful. I think it was a time when I was not working anymore, and we were kind of afraid to go out during COVID, especially with everything happening and going out shopping. So when they offered, Kids and Family offered the resources for us about free meals through World Central Kitchen, it became a blessing in disguise. And when I saw these meals, I was just extremely blessed. For one, they were healthy and nutritious. I saw vegetables, I saw grains, I saw fruit, everything that you would prepare for your meal, and to be healthy. And so I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that they took their time. You know that they cared. There was garnish on every single dish. And I just really took attentive to the details of how everything was placed. It was definitely given out of love. So I definitely appreciate what they did. And also to the volunteers that helped prep the food and actually delivered the food was just an extreme blessing. It was just a blessing. Every time I saw them, it was like an angel with a care package coming for us every day. And every day at a certain time, we expect this package, and we would just, I have food. And it's, the things that you take for granted, right? Food, and then now, it's like, it's coming to you and it's already prepared. So it made life easier. The kids had something to eat. I didn't have to worry about planning for dinner or meal preps. I didn't have to worry about what we're doing for dinner. I could just really be a little less stressed and just know that dinner was taken care of and that I can focus on the kids and the other needs that we have.
So our family today, I would say we're doing great. Right, so we've come a long way. I believe we went over the hump, as I call it. So right now, we are. My kids, my foster kids are their brothers and sisters, and they see our kids now as their brothers and sisters, and they see us as their parents. So we see them as our kids now. So we are. I said we blended very, very well, very good. So we are doing great.
Hi, I'm Mike Powers, Ventura County CEO, and I'm delighted to be with you here this evening to celebrate Kids and Families Together for 20 years of serving our community. and 20 years of really helping strengthen families in our community, supporting and assisting parents, relatives, children during some of the most difficult times in their lives, some of the most very often traumatic times, and coming alongside and providing whatever it is they need to bring families together and put them on a good path moving forward. And it aligns so well with what our county does, our Human Services Agency supporting foster families. But when you think about Kids and Families Together, our partnership, just really helping support these families and these children during some of the most vulnerable times in their lives, providing services or connecting them to services and really bringing folks together. It makes such a huge difference and puts these kids on a much better path in life. And what I love is hearing about too the stories of children who were in the program at one point now, or are adults actually providing services and helping in the program as well. So these are really life-changing, transforming services that you're providing, and we're so deeply appreciative for you providing those services and hope to those in need. So to Kids and Families Together, we say thank you so much for your 20 years of wonderful service and compassionate service to our community, and here's to 20 more wonderful years. Thank you.
Our first award for this evening will be going to the World Central Kitchen. Founded in 2010 by Chef Jose Andres, World Central Kitchen, or WCK, uses the power of food to heal communities and strengthen economies in times of crisis and beyond. WCK has created a new model for disaster response through its work helping devastated communities recover and establish resilient food systems. By partnering with organizations on the ground and activating a network of food trucks or emergency kitchens, WCK provides freshly made, nutritious meals to survivors of disasters quickly and effectively. WCK's Restaurants for the People program attacks the growing hunger and economic crisis on two fronts, by paying local restaurants to cook fresh meals for their neighbors in need, and at the same time, getting food to hungry people and keeping restaurants and their teams open and working. They know that a nourishing meal in a time of crisis is so much more than a plate of food. It's hope, it's dignity, it's a sign that someone cares about you and that you are not alone.
From the wildfires in California and Oregon, hurricane relief in the Gulf Coast, the devastating bomb blast in Beirut, to helping poll workers during the recent election, WCK is there. Nearly 6 months after the beginning of COVID-19, World Central Kitchen has purchased over 30 million meals from small, independent restaurants, funneling more than $117 million back into the economy. Traditional safety nets like school feeding programs, city services, and food banks are struggling to meet basic needs. So WCK partners with restaurants to help meet this demand by providing jobs for their staff and meals for those in need. Rincon Brewery approached WCK and partnered in the opening of their restaurant to make a difference in the Ventura community. After a week, the conversation began to focus on the more urgent need, being with kids and families together. And the approval was given to make the switch. Rincon then presented the idea to K&FT on Thursday, April 16th, and by Monday, April 20th. The meal distribution began and was able to provide between 300 to 500 meals a day, Monday through Saturday, through the end of June.
We will be forever grateful for the can-do attitude of the team at WCK and blessed that they have been so generous to the Ventura County over the years. Now, here are Jason and Mark to accept the award.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Honored to accept this award on behalf of World Central Kitchen. This was truly a team effort that was put forth by Rincon Brewery, Caitlin, Sharon Cromati from Kids and Families. So on behalf of World Central Kitchen, I want to accept this award and say thank you to everyone that partaked in this activation. And I really appreciate the recognition here. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Jason Collis, Director of Procurement for World Central Kitchen globally. Sorry, everyone. Jason's on mute.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Here we go. Hello, everybody. I just saying, I first off want to thank Kids and Family Together for this award. It's an honor for us to be able to accept it. I just wanted to thank Sharon Kamadi, who basically started our relationship with World Central Kitchen from the Thomas fires. Sharon delivered meals to different fire stations and different families in need with World Central Kitchen, and that relationship grew. And then from there, we were able to know about the need and what great things Kids and Family Together have been doing. So with that in mind, Caitlin, helped with Mark, and we spearheaded with Recon Brewery and also other restaurants throughout the Ventura County area to provide over 60,000 meals to families in need and children. And without having this relationship, we wouldn't be able to do the mission that we had. And this partnership was amazing. Can't thank everybody on the team enough for putting this together. I was in the back just helping out, and Mark and the ground team just were amazing. Thank you once again, and thank you for founding an unbelievable organization.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bob Huber, and I'm the Ventura County Supervisor representing the 4th District. I would like to add my voice of congratulations to Kids and Families Together as it celebrates 20 years of serving Ventura County families. Thank you for joining tonight's virtual gala, and thank you to all of the donors and supporters who allow Kids and Families Together to be successful in achieving its mission.
Oh, thanks to World Central Kitchen for all they do. And before we meet our second family, please help us reach our goals. Text KID, K-I-D, to 41444. And don't forget, you can also click on the donate button.
Cool. And now let's hear from our next family, the Connollys. This is Casey and Roberta.
We are Roberta and Casey Conley. We've been married for 9 years in March. We've been foster parents for many, many years. We have one little one living with us right now. He's an active, beautiful 4-year-old that we just went into an adoptive placement with, which we're very excited about. And we're hoping to finalize by the end of the year. We became foster parents because we wanted to provide love to children whose families were unable to provide them with a safe environment. We wanted to provide love and security and a safe haven for children to feel nurtured so that they could reattach to their biological families or move to an adoptive placement.
During reunification, he became increasingly defiant and temperamental. It was much more than the terrible twos. By the time he returned to our home, he was throwing tantrums several times a day, some of them violent. So we talked, Roberta and I did, and we decided he'd been through too many difficult transitions. It was time for him to stay put. Social services has agreed, and so now we're in adoptive placement.
Which is so exciting, yay!
Parent mentor Gina identified and connected us with Kids and Family Together. One of the first resources they sent was therapist Leah. She came and counseled us in her home, sharing a lot of practical suggestions, listening to us. That was great too.
Casey and I are just very fortunate that we were employed and we were not financially impacted by COVID-19. But it was stressful for us as two adults who worked, and we needed to educate and entertain this beautiful 4-year-old child who was silly and demanding and wanted to play half the time. So we were fortunate that that Kids and Families Together offered us a meal from World Central Kitchen. Every Friday, a meal was delivered to our home, and the doorbell rang, and then we would open the door, and there it was on our porch, this delicious, healthy, hot meal that I didn't have to cook, thank God. And we could just sit down as a family and just enjoy the meal. And we're just very grateful for World Central Kitchen and Kids and Family Together for providing that service to us. Kids and Families Together, we're very thankful and grateful for them. We went through a series of 3 trainings with Kids and Families Together, and they really taught us to understand our child's trauma. And they provided us with creative and practical interventions and coping skills to redirect his behavior. For Casey and I, we understand now that he will always be a child of trauma, but we also have the confidence to know that he will reach his potential and thrive. So thank you, Kids and Families Together. We are utterly grateful for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Long. I'm your Ventura County Board Chair and Supervisor for District 3. I'd like to add my voice of congratulations to the Kids and Family Together for celebrating 20 years of serving Ventura County families. Thank you for joining tonight's virtual gala, and thank you to all the donors and supporters who make Kids and Families Together continue its mission. I hope you enjoy tonight's event.
Thanks to the Conleys for that great story, and thanks to our community partners who make it all possible to serve the families in our region. Now we're going to present our next award to another partner, Rincon Brewery, and tell us more about Mark. You're up next.
Good evening. I am Mark Kerwin of Kerwin Francis, and I worked for 3 months, 5 days a week, helping out with food distribution. I was personally involved in delivering a lot of those meals. And I tell you, I've done disaster work all over the world. And my high every day was saying hello to those children and the parents who are so grateful to be recognized as people in this pandemic who had lost much. So it was really a wonderful time. And great thanks to the Rincon crew who helped us out. Luisa, we get out in the morning and we would do a circle and we'd give thanks. And the head chef, and Jason, the general manager, and all the cooks and the staff, so welcoming to us. And they let us drive through their parking lot and load up trucks and cars. It was all done very safely. COVID, we wore gloves and masks. So it was an incredible experience. And I just want to present to them the Founders Award for their great work to the Rincon folks. Thank you very much.
You gotta look at the laptop.
Hi, here is this beautiful award. I want to show it. I am Luisa Hyatt, and I've got my crew here, Kids and Families Together. We are so honored to accept this Founders Award, and it means the world to us. Working with all of you and with World Central Kitchen gave us some of the most incredible memories from this whole COVID pandemic. And we've all been talking as a team that everything has been so fast-paced, we haven't really been able to step back and think about this partnership. And these last couple days have been such a blessing to really realize how powerful this whole experience was. So I want to introduce the team that is here with me. Behind me is my husband, Mark. And then we have Chef Stroh, who is the one who is responsible for organizing all of the meals and the love notes that came out with personal experiences through his life that meant something to him with the meals that he was creating. He could not have created his meals without his 2 head people, Olson right here and Margarito, key people in our team that made the meals happen. And then organization of all of that from our general manager, Jason Steffenauer in the back. And just so honored, you guys. And I really want to have Chef Stroh speak a couple words and my general manager, Jason, have a couple words of gratitude. But I want to show you this pile of letters that we received, personal letters from families of how much these meals meant to them. And Chef Stroh was gifted an amazing book too, that it brought many of us to our tears. But I mean, this letter talks about a grandmother raising her grandchild and battling cancer, and how much the meals meant to her to be able to know that she was getting good food on the table and that she was caring for her grandchild while she was balancing during this craziness, battling cancer herself. So Chef Stroh, take it away. You are the one that came up with the menus, who took it to a different level, who came up with the love notes that meant so much. And to know how far these meals reached kids and families together, thanks for jumping on board and partnering with us. World Central Kitchen, Jason and Mark, you guys are family forever. And whenever we want to do something else, we know the crew that we can jump 2 feet full bore in with. So thank you from all of us, from the bottom of our hearts. It's an honor to accept this beautiful award.
So presented with this opportunity, there was a lot that went into it. Both the respect that I have for Jason and Mark, and the fact that they support World Central Kitchen, and the respect that I have for them. I knew that it was something worth doing. Jason and Luisa and Mark and everybody, having worked with them as well, kind of pressures on. And when presented with the opportunity to personalize it a little bit, when presenting to the hospitals and the families and all that, I realized that it meant a lot to me as well. And we did 60 days plus, almost 70, different meals every day. Truly enjoyed it. And it wasn't until about halfway through where I had somebody approach me, Luis approached me, and I was given a gift, and it was a book, and it was from a gentleman who was fostering 4 kids. And he came to me and he said that the meals that I was presenting, he was able to warm up and heat, and it provided him with an extra hour of time with his 4 foster kids every day. And that he didn't have to be in the kitchen while they were watching TV. He was able to spend that time with them and to show them and teach them how important it was to be family. And that was really kind of a switch for me. It hit home, and I realized that this was reaching out. And then I had another employee a volunteer who's now an employee, who reached out and said that they had passed along the notes on to some of the universities that were nearby. And I realized that they were going through the teacher's lounge, if you will, of the university. And I was getting feedback from that. And I realized that everyone's going through the same thing that I was going through, that everyone here was going through, and that everyone was just looking for some positivity and some light and some love, and the love notes were born. And people looked forward to them every day. And it was an amazing thing that the team that I worked with helped push me to continue to produce, and who benefited from that, as well as me benefiting from writing them. And the fact that I could trust in the people that I brought on board, working with Jason, working with Olson, working with Margarito, working with Mark. We were just talking about how it all came to be when I was like, hey, I know a guy. And Jason's like, so do I. Let's do this. It was growth for all of us. It was learning for all of us. It was an exceptional experience, and it's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. And I'm grateful, like I said, to Mark and Jason with World Central Kitchen for allowing us the opportunity. And I'm glad that the team that you see before you was able to deliver and deliver above and beyond every day. So thank you guys for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to share my personal experiences in my life with cooking, and how food means love, and love is everything. At the end of the day, nothing else really matters. If you love yourself, if you love the food, if you love the people you're around, that's all that matters. So Chef Stroh's, our Rincon Brewery Heart food was kind of born. And I think we take that with us every day, and we're grateful every day. And we will look back on this always with huge smiles and big open hearts. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Wooley, and I have the honor and privilege to serve as the board chair for Kids and Families Together. I've been affiliated with Kids and Families Together since their inception, and have had the wonderful opportunity and experience of watching them growing into the amazing organization they are today. David and Faith, thank you for your love of and dedication to Kids and Families Together. Thank you, and congratulations to World Central Kitchen and Rincon Brewery. This recognition is well deserved. We so appreciate your partnership and hard work. With you, we did make a difference. And a big thank you to our families for sharing your stories. You are the most important people with us this evening. COVID has certainly presented its challenges for Kids and Families Together. As with many nonprofits, our fundraising efforts have been severely impacted by the pandemic. Our fundraising provides resources to expand our outreach and strengthen our programs in ways that are essential to our ongoing success. We are proud to say that we have managed to keep all of our many programs going during these challenging times. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to our staff for their flexibility and adaptability. Our clinical work continues via Zoom and FaceTime, and we continue to host COVID-safe drive-through events to provide food, gift cards, and other essentials to our families in need. We are constantly searching for external resources to support our efforts. For example, we recently received a technology grant that will help us upgrade and improve our infrastructure as we navigate our new virtual world. Our work continues, but sadly, the need for our services is more relevant now than ever. Families are facing increasing hardship and stress. Consequently, our work is more critical now than it has ever been. The bottom line, we need your help. We cannot do this alone. We frequently refer to the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. We have modified this to it takes a loving village to raise a child. We invite you now to join our loving village. We understand that there are a lot of financial needs within our community at this time. As with most nonprofits, we too are struggling to keep our heads above water. Any financial assistance you may be able to give will be appreciated. You may make a one-time gift or monthly and/or an annual pledge. Thank you for any gift you may be able to offer. Before we go on, I would like to take a moment to thank and acknowledge our board members who are with us this evening. I could not ask for a more wonderful group of people to work with. Thank you for being with us tonight and for your ongoing support of Kids and Families Together. It is now my pleasure to introduce one of our newest board members, Crystal Cummings, to say a few words. While Crystal is new to the Kids and Families Together board, she is not new to the organization. She is an amazing human being who has had a long and successful history with Kids and Families Together. We are grateful to have her back. Crystal?
Hello. Just want to say celebrating 20 years with Kids and Families Together is an honor and a privilege. I've had the pleasure of being backstage in the field as a therapist, seeing families thrive beyond what they could have ever imagined. Some of the youth I know firsthand received help from Kids and Families Together. They've branched out all over the world and doing what they love despite setbacks. Some of these setbacks have been grieving their biological families through death or other tragedies, while simultaneously having to transition to new homes, new schools, and new caregivers. The good news is that Kids and Families Together was right there to support them. They sat with them silently. They lifted them up. They made them laugh and play. And also they introduced new ways to enjoy each other. Thousands of families have received support from Kids and Families Together because of people like you, including me, especially me. Your support provided me with rich experiences, starting as an intern to receiving my license as a psychotherapist. The wisdom and experience that I received and gained from Kids and Families Together for close to a decade made me a better person, a better wife, a better mother, grandmother, as well as a professor. The skills that I gleaned from Kids and Families Together and this great organization is irreplaceable. Donating to this organization is a gift that keeps on giving. So not only does your financial support help individual families, it helps generations to come. Thank you so much for being here today and for choosing to donate to Kids and Families Together. Please text KID to 41444. That's 41444. Put KID in the text box and submit your donation now. The neat part is the first 50 people who text this pledge over $100 or more will receive a gift from Limonera. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name's Steve Bennett. I'm Ventura County Supervisor, 1st District.
I'd like to add my voice of congratulations to Kids and Families Together for 20 years of serving the families of Ventura County. I appreciate each one of you joining this virtual celebration tonight, and I really appreciate the donors and supporters that allow Kids and Families Together to continue to serve our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon and Crystal and David and Faith, all of our families and our partners at Rincon and WCK. And of course, none of this would be possible without our sponsors. Gold sponsor, Montecito Bank and Trust and Janet Beaton. Silver sponsors, Sharon and John Wooley. Charles Hendricks, Ruth Hemming, the Kearney Family Fund, Gold Coast Health Plan, and Limonera. Bronze sponsors, Mullet Family, P. Mark Kerwin, law offices of Kerwin and Francis, Ralph James, and Pacific Western Bank. We'd also like to thank our board of directors for Kids and Families Together. And we'd like to thank Charles.
Hi, Charles.
And his mom, Rachel Putcher. And of course, we'd like to thank Caitlin Behringer and Amy Hewitt for putting this event together with People Media. And another one, we're grateful for the time spent by our event planning committee. And those members include Kathleen Thompson, Vivian Mullet, Mark Kerwin, Sharon Cromartie, and David Friedlander. And we'd, I guess at the end, we'll show you a little video from one of our sponsors. But
right now, we hope all of you at home have enjoyed spending a few minutes with us this evening. And we have tried to, as we have tried to raise funds for more awareness for Kids and Families Together. Hopefully next year we can all celebrate in person again. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yes. Don't forget to text your donation, that's KID, K-I-D, to 41444, or click on that little donate button or that little thing you see scrolling right there. We'd love to see you at one of our gift away events, and we have one coming up next month. So check out our website for details. And thank you all for your time, and have a very happy holiday, and happy Merry Christmas on Kwanzaa.
That's a mouthful.
Over $1.4 million donated. Over 5,000 hours volunteered.
$41 million to support local community development projects.
Making a difference in our local communities
is a responsibility we take seriously at Montecito Bank and Trust.
We do this by reinvesting in the community through loans and corporate philanthropy.
When you bank with us, you're making a difference too.
Because behind every great community is a great bank.
Montecito Bank and Trust. We can do more together.